As you may well know, March 2nd kicks off Read Across America Week, which is a week where reading out loud and reading children's books is celebrated in schools in the US. In honor of Read Across America, I wanted to recommend some children's books that I love and hold dear to my heart, and then maybe read a little bit of one for you in case it might feel nostalgic to hear a children's book being read. The first is one of my all-time favorites from my childhood, and that is A Case of the Stripes. This is about a young girl who loves lima beans but pretends to hate them because she doesn't think it's cool to like lima beans. And so as she is kind of keeping that part of herself hidden away, her external being changes because she isn't being herself. It is a little bit silly and whimsical, and it gets a little bit dark towards the end, but I absolutely love the imagery in this book as a kid, and I cannot more highly recommend it. One of my other favorite childhood books was Maddie's Hats Won't Wear That. This is the story of a dressmaker who makes really outlandish and whimsical hats, displays them in the window, and one night they decide that they don't want to wear these silly decorations anymore and they want to be taken seriously, so they remove all of them, only to find that the people of the town are devastated because the silly and whimsical hats brought them so much joy. This is very much a story about being yourself, even if it doesn't look very cool, and it really resonated with me as a kid. One book that I did not read as a kid because I didn't know it existed, but I now think is just so stunning and I would love for so many young people to have access to it, is Phoebe Wall's Little Witch Hazel books. These are stories about embracing and loving nature and seeing small moments of joy and embracing them. And the illustrations are absolutely stunning. Stay tuned to the end of this video and I'll read you the beginning of this book. Another book that I wish had existed when I was a kid is 'Twas the Night Before Pride. I have gifted this book to some family and friends who wanted to read it with their children, and while some children understand the idea of there being multiple moms or dads, which can be very exciting to them, some kids just like it is a really colorful book with lots of stuff to look at, and both of those things, as far as I'm concerned, are very good. Of course, we have the classic Frog and Toad Are Friends. This is a book that I have read to many of my friends' kids and really enjoyed reading to my students when I was a student teacher. And another book along a similar line that I've really enjoyed reading to kids in the past is Good People Everywhere, and it talks about good people being in every place in the world. On occasion, I will check out a children's book from my local library just to kind of see what they are and see if it's something I could recommend or gift to a friend or family member. I recently read A Map for Palestine, and in addition to the illustration being really beautiful, this was a phenomenal story about family and love, and I would highly recommend adding it to a reading list for your kids. One other thing is, I know that not everybody loves reading out loud or finds that to be something that they are good at or enjoy, but keep in mind that if you have young people in your life, that you can check out children's books as audiobooks from your local library through Libby. And maybe instead of reading to them, you can listen with them, and maybe you can even find a physical copy of the book to read along. Reading to kids and with kids and having kids seeing us read books is so important, and it helps them to become readers, which I think a lot of us could agree makes our lives much richer. As promised, this is Little Witch Hazel by Phoebe Wall. I'm not even going to read through an entire season because I don't want to violate copyright in any way. So I'll just give you a couple of pages as a sneak peek, and then if this is something that you want to read or share with young people, you can check it out from your library or order on your own. I will read you the inside cover as well. It says, Little Witch Hazel is a tiny witch who lives in the forest, helping creatures big and small. She's an intrepid explorer, a hard worker, and a kind friend. In this 4-story volume, Little Witch Hazel rescues an orphaned egg, goes sailing on a raft, solves the mystery of a haunted stump, and makes house calls to fellow forest dwellers. But when Little Witch Hazel needs help herself, will she get it in time? Little Witch Hazel is a beautiful ode to nature, friendships, wild things, and the seasons that only Phoebe Wall could create. And I agree. It's beautiful and stunning. So the first book, which is perfect because it's beautiful outside today, is the spring story about the orphaned egg. One afternoon, as little witch Hazel made her way home, she found something peculiar. An orphaned egg, the little witch thought. After waiting a while to see if anyone would come and claim it, little witch Hazel decided to roll the egg home. After looking and listening and a few taps, little witch Hazel made a nest for the egg by the fire and went to bed. I think that's where we might leave it. When she awoke, there was a poof of a bird staring at her. And that is where I'm gonna cut it off. I don't want to be giving away B.B. Wall's incredible work for free. I just wanted to give you enough of a taste to hopefully order a copy of your own to share with the young people in your life. I hope you enjoy, and happy Read Across America Week.